Want to share?
To the soul. No, I don't share my mama. And I got a beautiful sister. I love my sister, y'all. I do just about anything for my sister, but even in the conversations with my sister, I say my mama.
Yeah.
We got the same mama. It don't matter because she mama.
And Mimi, as a child, she wasn't, she didn't get a lot of spankings or anything like that. But I think the one thing that really still stands out with me today that really hurt me to where, it made me feel bad because I felt like I had failed her.
Okay.
And I didn't know where she could have picked that up or got it from. And I still rack my brain today because Neek had to pick her up from the after-school daycare. And she was telling me, she's like, I got to talk to you about something. I'm like, well, what happened? She was like, well, the school said.
Oh, Lord, please don't tell this.
Please do.
Jesus
Go
Christ.
on. I love these stories because my mom don't tell one about me. So let's get that in.
If she don't, then we erasing it.
Okay.
The school said that she was behind the building with a little boy with her pants down.
Oh, my goodness.
And I was like...
Little fast self.
Yes. And it hurt me to my heart.
I didn't get pregnant, though.
She was only about 6.
No, I get it.
And I was like, what is going on? And from then on, she would tell you, I started watching her like a hawk.
Yeah.
I didn't let her go, say nothing.
Nothing.
When Medea said clank, 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 clank.
I went to a 6th grade dance, and according to her watch, I was not out there on time, y'all. She came into the school dance in a gown, trench coat, rollers in her hair, bedroom shoes on, and my sister on her hip. Y'all want to know the next time I went to a dance? Senior prom. And when we got in her car, the clock said 9:03. So how was I late? I was supposed to be out there at 9.
It took me 3 minutes to go in and get you and come back.
Mama, that means I wasn't late.
Yeah, it was.
No, I was supposed to be out there at 9.
You were 3 minutes late.
I wasn't.
You was.
Mama, when we got in the car,
I was sitting out there. I said, now I told her to be out here.
But I came out there early. And there was nobody out there. My thinking was my mama going to fuss at me for being out here in the dark by myself. So I'm going to go back inside.
You should have looked out the window with your little fast self. Anyways.
Or we going to fight. We going to fight.
So, you had this beautiful baby. And,
I have to tell you.
Okay.
When she was probably maybe 1, not quite 2.
Okay.
And at my grandmother's house, I used to drive a school bus.
Okay.
Tells you the times.
Yeah.
Because they were letting students drive school buses.
I was thinking this part. I'm like, how was you going to school and driving a bus? Yeah. But, I was like, okay, let's try to stay on subject.
After I had her, my job was a school bus driver.
You was driving buses.
Students were driving buses. Seniors were driving school buses. Not adults. Seniors.
This was South Carolina.
Carolina.
Yeah. Okay.
And they were doing it in other places too. But I had everybody from kindergarten up to seniors in high school that was on my route. And, there were times when I had this one little boy who was in kindergarten. He would always go to sleep on my bus. And one day I took him home with me and I had to take him back because I didn't know he was in the very back.
Okay.
And so I started walking the bus at the end because he was the last stop. He's my first pickup and the last one off.
Okay.
But yeah, I drove a school bus, and when I would come into the yard to back my bus into the yard every day, she would be standing there at the little screen, drooling like crazy. And I would always come up to her and say, "How's my Pushanella?" And she would just start laughing and drooling like she was happy to see me, and I was happy to see her. And that was my first job, making like $300 a month. And back then, that was big money.
Yeah, I can imagine.
That was big money back then. But yeah, I drove a school bus, and it was always made the day when I would come home and see her that she was there waiting for me.
I know that feeling.
And to know that she was happy to see me. Yes.
Now, my wife, your daughter, she talks about Big Granny constantly. What was that like, being able to have that, was Big Granny your mother or your grandmother?
My grandmother.
Okay, what was it like?
That's
having
my mom's mother.
That kind of support there?
Well, it was good because as a child, we didn't like each other.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But she fell in love with Mimi. Mimi was her heart. and my grandfather too.
Okay.
Anywhere they went, she went.
That was Papa, right?
Papa.
Okay.
Anywhere they went, she went.
Mm-hmm.
And, I didn't have any worries about when I had to go to work or when I was trying to go to school and she was watching her. I could never repay her in material things as far as her being there for me. And yeah, that was Mimi's ride or die.
Yeah, I know.
And Papa and Big Granny, that's her ride or die. I can't think of anything, even after she went off to Colombia, that was still their heart, even though it wasn't their natural child.
So you graduate from high school. You're a mother.
Yeah.
Things are starting to progress for you. Now that you graduate, I'm assuming that you started getting better jobs.
Yes.
And things of that nature.
Moved us into a nice townhome, just the two of us. I had my own car, getting ready to buy another one. I was going to buy me a truck, and I thought we were doing pretty good.
And then you meet.
Only went to the best schools.
Oh, I made sure we lived in a good area, so she only went to the best schools. She didn't go in the ghetto schools.
And then you met Catherine's father.
Yes.
And you get married and become a mother for the second time. What was it like the second time being married and having a child?
Well, being married was different.
Okay.
But when I got ready to have Catherine, he wasn't here.
Okay.
He was off, he was in the military, and he was off in Maryland.
Okay.
I was in Columbia, South Carolina. So it wasn't that he was there on a daily basis. So I was kind of used to going through it by myself.
But so now you're going through it with two children.
Well, Mimi was never, the problem was she didn't want to share.
Okay.
You should have seen the pictures at the marriage. That would have told you right there.
It should have told you.
Mad.
It should have told you not to keep going through.
Just angry, mad. And you know how she gets when she don't get her way.
I do.
Man, forget you.
Okay. So, and then Catherine came along, and that means that's another person I got to share.
Yeah.
So she wasn't happy about that.
Yeah.
So she wasn't happy about Catherine. Catherine was just so innocent.
Just a baby.
I mean,
just
nobody asked me
the baby.
how I felt and what I wanted. Because I was your world and you were mine. Like, I feel like I should have been part of that decision making.
I did. I let you stay.
Mom. I'm just saying. I
so
should have been
you were
consulted.
saying it was difficult being married after being single mother for so long?
Well, the and you may be able to relate to this. I know she would. I wanted to make sure that there was never any competition.
Okay.
That she never felt like I loved Catherine more than I loved her. Even though they're two different children and a big age gap. And what I tried to get her to understand is Catherine needs more attention because she can't do nothing for herself. You can. But yeah, it didn't make no difference. She still wanted her way. But for me, it was just trying to make sure that the families didn't treat them differently.
Oh, okay.
So with his family, I made his mom understand quickly, even though she loved me, that they weren't going to overshadow Catherine with things and then not overshadow me. Which was, good to a certain extent. But I think when I said that, because the first Christmas that Catherine had, all I heard was, oh, I'm going to get this, oh, I'm going to get that, I'm going to get this, she's going to have this. And I said, okay, so the same number of presents you come into the house with, Catherine, you come into the house with mercy. And if you can't do the same, don't do nothing. And she took offense to that. I wouldn't do that. Okay. I'm just letting you know. So, and then when Christmas time came, it was minimal. Okay. And so that's when I went over and beyond, because I said, I don't need you to give my children anything. I can supply everything that they need. Just be thankful you're a part of their life. But it was different. And then they learned, because they were going to have to if they wanted to keep, dealing with me. But one of the hardest things for me to do when I did get married, before Catherine was even born, we moved to Columbia. And we didn't have a lot of finances. Okay. And so when school was out, I didn't have enough to put Mimi into a summer camp. Okay. So I had to send her back to Anderson to stay with Big Granny, which she
Okay.
loved.
Yeah.
But it bothered me
Mm-hmm.
because I felt like she needed to be with me.
Okay.
She was my child. I was responsible for her. And I didn't want, because you know how family can get, oh, Lena done took, Mimi over to Mama's house, like they
Yeah.
didn't do it.
Yeah.
But anyway, but I felt like that wasn't where she was supposed to be. So I kept working. I said, no, Mimi's got to come home.
Mm.
And so I brought her back
Mhm.
because I wasn't getting any peace because I didn't know how she was doing there.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, I think that was the year that they bought you that little swimming pool, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They bought her a little swimming pool. She out there thought she was swimming.
And both of my great grandparents had to sit around this pool, you guys. And it's just one of them little pools you sit in, y'all.
That you get at Walmart for $9.
Yes, but they thought they had to watch me. Both of them. They sat there. One on one side, one on the other side. I don't know how I was going to drown in that pool. I wasn't because they were sitting there.
Well, you have to understand, they are mainly your big granny is the one that made everyone in the family fear water.
Fear water?
Fear water, because all you're going to do is drown. Black people don't swim.
Oh, really?
And black people don't get in big bodies of water. That's one of the things they taught that I had to get her away from.
Okay.
So, because I love the water. And so, as an adult, I went back and took swimming lessons. And then when I met Catherine's father, his parents had a pool. And she used to go over there and swim. Mimi did.
Yeah.
And so, wanted to get her acclimated to a different lifestyle and get away from that stereotype. But yeah, she's the one to put in us the fear of water. Yeah.
That's so funny because, you hear these things about different communities all the time, and they act like, oh, we hate stereotypes.
Mm-hmm.
But I personally feel like some stereotypes just so happens to fit the real thing.
Oh.
I mean, I love fried chicken.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to stereotype me with that, then okay. But I hate watermelon.
Oh, I do
So,
too.
I mean, yeah, so some stereotypes fit some,
Yeah.
though.
And when Mimi was saying a few minutes ago, not to interrupt you,
No.
and when you were saying, as far as a strong black woman,
Yeah.
people want to take that as being an angry black woman.
Yeah.
Oh, I get angry
Yeah.
about a lot of things. And right now, that's because of hormonal changes.
Okay.
But being a strong black woman doesn't mean that you're angry.
Yeah.
They just can't take the power that's coming from your voice.
Yes.
That's the problem.
That is.
So, and they want, and a lot of black men tend to choose a white woman because she's not going to use her power in her voice. Will not understand that they're just going back into a slavery mentality by marrying the overseer. But they think they're moving up in the world when all they're doing is just giving power to the overseer again. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
And my mama made sure to instill within me and my sister, don't give up your power. Period. Don't give it up. You have it. You were given it for a reason. Use it.
Right, and I didn't teach them to abuse it.
Right.
Now,
But
if they do that, that's on their own now. They take it and changed it. But still, don't be afraid of who you are, where you come from, and don't let anybody talk down to you. Ever. Because everybody has gone through something. Everybody has somebody in their family that has gone through something. And there's nobody here that's perfect. If we were, we'd be going on to live with the Father. But it's just certain things that I tolerated that I think I instilled in them not to.
In your marriage, you mean?
In my childhood, or things that adults feeling that because they're family, they can say anything to me.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't teach her to do that or them to do that and be disrespectful. But at the same time, I don't care if it is family. They don't call you out of your name. They don't say disrespectful things to you. Things like that.
They don't say negative things about your kids.
So you have your two children. You raise them both very well.
Thank you.
They're both college graduates. The baby's about to get her doctorate.
Intelligent.
For free. I just want a scholarship. Yeah, they paying her. You understand me?
So we're going to jump all the way to the day you find out you're going to be a grandmother. What was that process like?
Well, she